Neptune has just ingressed into Aries. Let's talk about it. Pretty momentous occasion, y'all. Last time Neptune was in Aries was like 1861 to 1875, and that coincided with a lot of historical events, one of them here in the States being the American Civil War. Not saying that that's going to happen again this time around. Just offering that. And this video isn't going to be like historical correlations with outer planet transits. This is just my riffs on what this brought to mind for me. So Neptune is a planet of mysticism and dissolving boundaries in favor of an underlying unity. It is the subjective and the occult and the transcendent, and it is a desire for yoga in the true sense of the word, which means union with Godhead or divinity. It is fantasy and delusion and nebulousness and confusion, cognitive distortions and projections, and arts and music and the transcendentally beautiful. So you see that Neptune has a mixture of Jupiter and Venus significations. Aries is ruled by Mars. It is the fire cardinal masculine sign of the zodiac. And it is fire and passion and warfare and battle, pushing the envelope, pushing past conventional boundaries. It is burning, severing, cutting and penetrating and thrusting and pushing. Strength and advocacy, courage in the face of fear, and new beginnings. It is entrepreneurship, boldly going where no one has gone before. So these two together, to me, bring to mind a dynamic of a mystical connection to Godhead through facing our fears with courage. Ooh, man. Yeah, that's going to be, I feel like that's going to be a large overarching theme for this transit. How a direct confrontation of what we used to fear can bring us closer to divinity, to union with Godhead. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just love and light and positive vibes only, and no, that's only a very small fraction of what it means to be on the path. In my experience, there's fear of the unknown and uncertainty, and especially because Neptune is such a planet of subjectivity and what is hidden behind the scenes or beneath the surface, the confrontation of those things is like, whoa. So it's like shadow work to me. The charging into the black with a desire of transcendence to clean out and excise what is no longer working for us. Those feelings of fear and guilt and shame and inadequacy being directly confronted by our own willpower and by our own courage. It's a big one. Mars, like I mentioned, is fighting, and martial arts gets its... Mars is the root word of martial arts. And martial law, military, martial arts, fighting, all that stuff. And when this transit started happening, Neptune is also like intoxication and envelopment and being completely engrossed in something And it made me think of this scene from Drunken Master. It's a martial arts movie starring Jackie Chan. It's like in the late 70s. It's one of my favorite movies ever. One of the first things that Jackie Chan's character is taught is how to fall. And his teacher is just beating the hell out of him, like tripping him and like sweeping his legs and all this stuff. And Jackie Chan's like, "Why are you doing this? Like this isn't teaching me martial arts." And the teacher responds, "Every good martial artist knows how to fall." Damn, that really hit for me. And I don't like falling. I don't really think that a lot of us like falling. But you don't stay on the ground. You get back up, and you make something of the situation that you thought was going to go a certain way, and it has to go another way now. And that's part of Aries' beauty and courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the realization that something is more important than fear. So we get up and we continue forward. That's a really big one that stuck out for me. And that's entrepreneurship. You know, you try to do something that you don't see as being done, and yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. It's not gonna be perfect every single time, and it's not gonna go 100% swimmingly. You're not gonna bat 1,000 every time. But you're still out there trying to make your moves, and that has the potential to be really transcendentally unifying. And another thing, Aries is the exaltation of the sun. So this is a really intellectual sign too, and we don't give it credit for that. The sun is our intellect. It is how we shed light on things. And I cannot help but think of an artist's rendition of Moses after receiving the law, the tablets of the law. Some people say it was a mistranslation of the Latin and of the Latin Vulgate, but Moses was depicted with horns, it was a word for like radiant and shining one, and it was like misinterpreted or mistranslated as horned. And man, that's actually been a depiction in many deities throughout cultures and religions throughout time. They're horned. They are in themselves pushing the envelope, doing things that people don't see very often, especially in the face of adversity, especially in the face of people not agreeing with how they should do things. They really grabbed life by the horns and went forward, and like, I know that you may not believe this, but this is what I genuinely feel in my heart, is how we grow closer to the divine, how we attain beauty, how we attain harmony, how we can dissolve structures and boundaries in favor of an underlying whole. And yeah, Neptune is not just like flowery, or I should say spirituality. Unifying with God is not just flowery mysticism and flowery language. It is the confrontation of the part of us that is selfish and arrogant and self-centered to a harmful degree, that manipulates, that is too afraid to take action. There's not a place to hide, I feel, anymore. The fears will come up and we will need to confront them. So whether or not we do that with meditation or exercise or whatever kind of thing, I feel like Neptune in Aries is going to ask us to build spiritual strength, to be a spiritual warrior, to confront the things that are holding us back so we can break through into our own spring equinox, so to speak, because Aries is the sign of spring equinox, to build a new life for ourselves with our own two hands.